Today I am going to give you 3 low-fat recipes for dogs with pancreatitis. Now, having a dog with pancreatitis is definitely no joke, so I want you to pay attention from the start to the end of the video because I am going to share some knowledge with you that can potentially save your dog's life. The first thing I am going to touch upon is the word pancreatitis. Now, itis means inflammation. Itis, pancreatitis, means the inflammation of the pancreas. What does that mean? That means that on a recurring basis, your dog's pancreas is getting inflamed. It's suffering. Your dog is probably suffering on a daily basis because of the inflammation of their pancreas. So what we want to do is find a way to reduce the amount of inflammation, your dog's pancreas is being subject to. In layman's terms, the pancreas does 2 things. It secretes enzymes and releases insulin, which is a very important hormone in your body. And the food, the quality of the food and the types of food we eat and our dogs eat have an incredible impact on our pancreas. And so by understanding these core nutrition facts, we can help your dog with their pancreatitis. So this is very, very important for you to understand. Now, what we do not want to do anytime we give our dogs something to eat is for those insulin spikes to go very, very high, because that's what is going to make your dog's pancreas work extra time. And if your dog's pancreas is not working as it should to start with, making it work extra time is going to be detrimental for your dog's health, and it's going to be very, very painful. So the first thing we need to understand is the role of carbohydrates in your dog's diet. There are 2 main types of carbohydrates. We have high glycemic carbohydrates and low glycemic carbohydrates. High glycemic carbohydrates, rice, wheat, corn, barley, among others, really do spike insulin levels. And these are the sort of carbohydrates we do not want to give our dog with pancreatitis. We do not want our dog's pancreas to work extra time. So maybe the most important bit of this video is for you to understand the importance of not giving your dog high glycemic carbohydrates and to really understand this principle. We then have low glycemic carbohydrates. We can go for oats in the morning, for example. If me and you have porridge in the morning, it is very likely that the release of energy is going to be a lot slower than if we eat cornflakes. Why? Because oats are lower in the glycemic index and release energy over time, whilst cornflakes really do spike our insulin levels and make us hungrier sooner than if we were to eat something with a low glycemic index. Among a list of low glycemic carbohydrates, we can find certain fruits and we can find certain vegetables, and these can provide a light touch in your dog's diet. What I don't want you to do is overcomplicate things. All carbohydrates you feed your dog suffering with pancreatitis have to be as minimal as possible. They shouldn't comprise any more than maybe 50% of their diet. Why? Once again, we do not want a high proportion of your dog's diet to be converted into glucose, into sugar, because if it's converted into sugar, it has to go via the pancreas, and the pancreas is going to release insulin. And if your dog's insulin levels and if your dog's pancreas is not working as it should to start with, putting them through their paces, it's not going to be a very good idea. The last pointer I am going to give you before I give you the recipes is for you to read the ingredients for everything you give your dog. Now, if you have a dog with pancreatitis, any treats and any food has to be closely monitored, and you have to be able to read the ingredients and decide whether that's good or bad for your dog's pancreatitis and for your dog's condition. Once again, we do not want spikes in insulin levels, and we do not want our dog's pancreas to be inflamed unnecessarily. So anything with rice, with wheat, with corn, with barley, with wheat gluten is probably a no-no whenever it comes to food. Anything we give them, make sure it's highly digestible and make sure you monitor your dog's condition over time. A lot of vets put unnecessary emphasis on the word fat and ask you to reduce the fat content you give your dog, and this is a mistake in my opinion, and I will tell you why. So if you eat yourself pasta 5 times a day, or your dog consumes too many carbohydrates, those excess carbohydrates are going to be converted into triglycerides, into fat in the liver, and the pancreas is going to work again extra hard to convert that food into energy, into usable glucose, into usable sugar for the body to use. So it is sometimes misplaced that people worry too much about low fat, and they do not emphasize enough in a reduction of the amount of carbohydrates we feed ourselves or we feed our dogs. We see this all the time. People will be put on veterinary prescription diets for their dogs, and these veterinary prescription diets are extremely high in carbohydrates. And guess what happens when we feed our dogs high glycemic carbohydrates? Our dog's pancreas keeps on getting inflamed, keeps on suffering, and the condition doesn't get better. So for you to understand the concept of high glycemic carbohydrates and the role of insulin and the role of the pancreas in your dog's body is absolutely crucial for you to navigate these choppy waters. Now, as promised, here are the 3 low-fat recipes for your dog with pancreatitis, and you can download it in the link in the description completely for free. But hey, there's a bit of a cautionary tale. As you can see, the recipes are quite hard, or might be quite hard to source. It might be hard for you to source chicken carcass or liver or offal or anything like that. So there are so many companies that provide very, very good affordable foods that you can purchase that are already pre-made and are pretty good for your dog's condition. They contain low glycemic carbohydrates, the quality of the food is very good, and the only thing you need to do is prepare the food and give it to your dog, and so you don't have to be cooking for your dog. And it is a lot better for you and for me to have something already pre-made that you can either thaw and give to the dog if we are talking about raw food, or a suitable kibble that I can just give my dog and for my dog to be a lot better on that kibble. Ingredients matter, the quality of the ingredients absolutely matter, and the notion of high glycemic carbohydrates is absolutely crucial for you to understand your dog's condition. Let me know what you think. Any questions, let me know below, and I'll see you in the next one.